All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Twins, activate. Today we're here with Daniel of Schwicky's Barbershop. Excited to talk to my friend, a client of mine. We're starting a new series here on this channel when we're going behind the scenes, so to speak, beyond the square footage, beyond the walls, beyond the paint and everything that normally we talk about when it comes to commercial real estate. We want to tell a story because we know there's a personality, there are persons, there are clients, there are patients in the spaces that we help clients lease and sell. So to that end, Daniel, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing us to come to talk to you today. So tell us how you got started in this business, how you founded this barbershop. Let us know who you are and take it away.
How I got started? I'm gonna have to go all the way back to 5th grade.
Okay.
It was my 5th grade graduation. And I got hold of my mama's comb that had a razor in it. And I felt like I needed a haircut, right? And so I'm in the bathroom downstairs and I'm just combing away, cutting away, and it's not the result of this bald head now. But I botched it up pretty bad. And back then they didn't have no shops that stayed open late.
Right.
And there was no commercial shops either back then.
Right.
And so mama was panicking, and she got some eyeliner pencil and shaded in all those bald spots and took me to the 5th grade graduation. But that's the first time I started with a razor.
This was the day before graduation?
The day of, the night of. And I ain't stopped cutting since then. I just kept going. I got stories from 5th grade to 6th grade. I just kept on. Now, I was terrible
right
back then. And it really wasn't until my grandfather wanted to go to Golden Skate World on Skipbrook and West Broad Street. And I was in high school at the time, and I waited too long to go to the barbershop. And I went in the bathroom and I faded myself up. And I don't know, I might have been 15, something like that.
You had the clippers on you apparently?
Yeah.
At the skate ring?
No, I was at my grandparents.
Okay.
And back then, you know, they had the vanities that folded out.
Yes.
Grandma had the mirror that came off the wall for her beauty stuff.
Right.
And so I just used that to see behind my head and all that. And I was in there for about an hour. And I come out the bathroom, my grandpa, you know, very, very blunt, straight to the point. Let me see your head, you know, and grabbed my head and turned it all around. And he was like, that look pretty good. You need to go to barber school. I said, I'm not going to barber school. I'm gonna be a construction worker just like you know, and which I did. I did all that. And I really didn't think you can make a living cutting hair. I really did not. And so I would just cut part-time in bathrooms, kitchens, barbershops, but construction was my main gig. Right. It wasn't until like 2008 when construction started taking a dive. Right. And of all places, I was on a date with my wife, and it was not planned. I just stopped into a Great Clips. I don't know if I could say that on camera or not, but it's not a bad thing.
Right.
I just stopped in Great Clips, walked in, walked out with a job, and you know, my wife was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'll be right back." And I went in there and I met a guy named Jesse Sweets. He's from Ithaca, New York, and he gave me a shot, and I learned a lot while I was there. So I went from private-owned barbershop to corporate haircutting industry, right. Which I'm glad I did that. And I moved my way up the ladder, key holder, assistant manager to them putting me in different shops that were struggling to get the numbers back up. And I always had it in my mind to own a shop. Right. But my wife wasn't too thrilled about the idea or the thought, just because of the risks that was involved. But I was always an entrepreneur, so me working for somebody that was new for me. I had to humble myself, which I'm glad that I did, because I learned a lot by working for other companies. Yes. And My father, I would talk to him a lot before he had passed away. And we talk about opening up a shop. And he says, and this was many years ago, he said, you do realize when you open up that shop, you're gonna have to be there 7 days a week.
Right.
And I didn't quite understand what he was talking about. It's, I guess because my mind at that point in my life and age and maturity, I really wasn't thinking in process and finances like that.
Right.
So here we are 15 years later, it makes sense. The financial part, the reason why you gotta be open 7 days a week. It's not just for the community, it's for, so you can pay your bills at home and at the shop.
Right.
You got 2 bills.
That's true. That's true. That's
and a lot of people don't realize that work for companies, small companies. Not only do you got your home bills, but you got your bills here too. And sometimes the bills here outweigh the bills at home.
Very much so.
But I guess that's pretty much how I kind of got started. I could talk about many different things and people and journeys and all that stuff, and because it's been a journey. It really has been a journey.
We will love it.
I don't know if I really hit the what you were looking for on that, but okay.
So from botch haircut to serial entrepreneur to barbershop owner to here we are today in your own barbershop.
Right. Yeah.
That's a story that we're gonna unpack some of that.
Okay.
So Schwick, you for 2 years now, 2+ years now, you've been operating your shop. You were in Innsbruck, and then you and I meet, and there was a need to move, and we began to search to find a place that made sense for you and where you wanted to go, and we landed here in Mechanicsville. Tell me why Mechanicsville made sense for you and the Schwicky's brand.
If there's a such thing as good luck and luck, I know there's, God and all that great stuff. I'm not trying to sound strange, man. You can plan,
right,
and you can look where you think, and you can think about your current clients and the demographics and all that kind of stuff. I live 30 minutes north of Richmond, and it would take me 40 minutes to get to Innsbruck. So I wanted to be closer to home, but I didn't want to move back to the suburbs or the city.
Right.
Even though that's where I'm from.
Right.
The second time I had contacted you and just started looking in the Mechanicsville area just to see what it was like. I knew it was a little bit closer to home.
Right.
This specific location where we're at right now, which I'll get to that. We were looking at one location, well, several locations, but one location specifically in Mechanicsville prior to this, and it just wasn't working. It wasn't feeling right. And you said, we need to keep moving, keep looking. And you found this location. Right. So you told me to go check it out. And, I rode by, I looked at it, and I said, this got to be a mistake. And I said, this thing looked like a fully functioning salon. I said, this can't be closed. Right. And you said, no, the listing was just listed, and we kind of took it from there. I couldn't have planned this if I wanted to, because I was looking at places in Innsbruck, honestly, and I had shut down the whole idea January 1. I said, nope, I'm gonna stay right here in the studio. It's easy, it's simple. I don't have no overhead. Well, I had overhead, but it was minimal. And again, it was just simple. And but when you're supposed to do something in life, it's not gonna leave you alone. It'll keep coming and resurfacing. And that's I contacted you again and said, hey, you still want to work with me? And some positive things had changed in my life prior to that. And we started looking again. We honestly didn't have to look long.
That's true.
So when God is involved and in control, and even though we're not perfect, but He is in control of our lives and destinations and time of arrivals of business ideas and journeys and all that stuff. I think that's what got us here, and I say us because you found this location. Didn't have to do a build out.
Right.
It was already previous a salon. We were just turning into a barbershop. All of the receptacles, the plumbing, the office, the utility rooms, the bathrooms, the break room, the laundry room, everything's already here.
Yes.
The reception area is already here. So another reason why the turnaround was so fast, because we didn't have to do all of that build out. So I'm gonna say what brought us to Mechanicsville was God and luck, because I didn't know what we truly had here until we signed the lease.
Right.
When we signed the lease, it was like I just kept seeing bonuses and bonuses and bonuses and bonuses. I was like, this is a really good location. It's more central to my clients than when I was in Innsbruck.
Right.
And that's from the customers saying that.
Right.
And then I didn't realize the growth that was going out in this community right here, in this specific location, on this specific road, and that there was only one other barbershop. Right. And now we are here as well.
Yes.
And we're enjoying the growth that we see going on in other areas and counties surrounding the RVA area. Right. And I got a couple of barbershop owners that I still talk to, and when they found out the location, one specific person that I'm close friends with, that I won't mention their name or gender, because then they'll be like, what? Y'all are friends? She helps you? Oops. But nobody gets anywhere alone.
That's true.
There is always somebody, if you're humble enough to listen.
Right.
And if somebody's willing to be kind enough and generous enough to share information, because that information is true wealth.
Right. Right.
Because a lot of this stuff you don't know until
knowledge
you
is power.
get. But I'm going to say that Schwicky did not choose this location. God did.
God did. I like that.
I was wondering when I was going to be able to give him some praise and glory for this, other than just myself.
Yes.
Saying it by myself. But this is the time. And as my grandmother would say, all goes back to God. It always goes back to God.
And grandma's always right.
Grandma always right. I fight over grandma. I will fight over grandma.
Like somebody wise man said last week, you put one foot back when they start talking about your mama or your grandma.
That's right. Absolutely.
So Schwick, we're a little over 1,000 square feet in this space. Talk to me about why this space, and then take the time to share with me all the services that you provide, because in listening to you talk as our relationship evolved, I know you're not the atypical barbershop.
Services, haircut obviously, but it's not your average haircut. Everybody that works here is, I'm gonna call it a specialty shop. Okay. So if you want that real crisp fade that you see on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, pinned anywhere on social media, online, something like that, we can do that here. We do the hot lather, the razor, a clean razor at that, brand new razor for every single client. And the reason why I emphasize that clean razor, most barbers recycle razor blades. We don't do that here at all. The hot steam towel, the oils, the pre-shave, the treatments on the skin before you get a shave, before you get your beard done. The scents that we use in the oils and stuff is very unique. So you got your haircut, you got your beard trims, you got your full face and head shaves, the shampoo as well. And then we also style your hair. Okay. Make you look good for photographs or whatever event that you got going on in life.
Right. That's good. Help me out. What's a hot lather?
Hot lather?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
That's when you shave.
Okay.
I know things have evolved that you don't have to necessarily use lather, that they have different techniques, but we try to keep it old school but modern at the same time, with a touch of upscale.
Right.
And so that hot lather is basically just it's a hot soap that we put on your face, and it opens up your pores and it raises your hair follicles on your face to get that nice, clean, tight shave on your face.
All right. Other than a barber's license, were there any other certifications or license that you acquired to do what you do?
Educational wise, I'm an alumni of Liberty University.
Okay.
License, you got your shop license.
Mm-hmm.
You have your barber license, and everybody that's here is licensed as well. That's pretty much it, other than the county license as well. You gotta have that.
You mentioned earlier you're open 7 days a week.
Yes.
Typical hours of operation?
10 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 10 to 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Other than, obviously, you got to pay your obligations, most barbershops, most salons are not open 7 days a week. Why you?
The world is different. The world has changed.
This is true.
And so people don't work traditional hours anymore. So while other shops are closed on, say, a Sunday or during the week they close at 5:30, we stay open a little bit longer and we have more days because to accommodate those that work overnight shifts, people that are fire, police, government jobs that work countless hours, and the only time they have is 6:30 at night. On the only day off they have is a Sunday. So that's why we chose to be open 7 days a week for the community, not for ourselves.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I can't thank you enough for affording me the opportunity to work with you. It was my pleasure, honestly. You know, as soon as we met, we kind of hit it off. You know, very easy to talk to, and for me, you were super clear in what your vision was. And so, as I walk in here today, that vision is literally everywhere, from the ceiling to the wall, to the floor, to the signage. Share with me, from your perspective, what my role was and what it was like for you and how impactful it was.
I wouldn't be in this space if it wasn't for you, because it would have been completely off my radar. I didn't see it, even though I shop in this community, even though I frequently across the street over there, I'm familiar with the parking lot. I wouldn't have seen it. I know there's a lot of guys that choose not to use a commercial broker. I think that's foolish now that I've gone through the process, because there were so many times that you would say something and I'd be like, what does that mean? And you would use abbreviations of stuff. What does that mean? So you have enlightened me quite a bit, educated me in commercial language, in contracts and square footage, because square footage price and construction square footage price, they're not the same.
Totally two different things.
Totally two different things. So that's how you impacted me. You've educated me. You've shown me a world that I knew nothing about, and then me trying to translate that information to my wife. She's like, "This doesn't make any sense." I said, "I know, but this is what Rob does, you know. So I trust Rob. This is his department, you know, and that's where we are here." Yep.
Good. All right, Schwick, we're gonna wrap this up because I know you got to get going to serve your clients. We've been here now for a couple of months. Talk to me about how this location, this space, has aided, enhanced the business.
Oh my. We went from a small, I think the room size was 10 by 10, one chair, same look, just one chair operation, to 1,050 square feet, 6 stations, full shop, 5 barbers. It has grown quickly, and the guys that I have on board, they're super excited about the brand. They're motivated. They like the environment. They feel like they're at home. I feel like I'm at home. The clients say that they feel like they're at home, and that's what we want, you know. And the community has embraced us. They've been very kind to us, and they've been showing a lot of love by saying stuff. Finally, there's a barbershop around here. I know that there's other barbershops here, but they're saying, hey, finally there's a barbershop here. So that makes us feel good as a group, as a team. And man, I'm just excited about the future growth as well. So that's what has changed. It went from a one-person business to the sky's the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I'm gonna piggyback on what you just shared, because I know you mentioned the word humble and humility a couple of times during the course of this conversation, and I can attest to your humility firsthand. And I know it's important that you reach back and give. So talk about some of the ways you give back through this shop. I know you mentioned to me before you do back to school cuts, and so talk about those services. Talk about any services or discounts you may provide for seniors, veterans, things of that nature. Just touch on that a little bit.
The majority of new clients that come in with children, and they look at the pricing, and most of them don't ask why so much. But I will touch on that. Why does a children's haircut cost almost as much as the adult haircut? You got to do more work. You got to do more work. You're working with a moving target, and you got to be patient. And we have patience. We have kids. All of us have children. Most of us have children that work here. And we even service kids with special needs, autism and stuff like that. I don't know why, but they enjoy the barbershop environment. I don't know if it's because it's a bunch of guys in here and it's they feel comfortable. So, and all of us know to take our time with them, and usually ends up being a very good thing. Back to school, we just try to position ourselves very well and the staff very well to make sure that we get all of the kids in and out, because everybody has to look good.
Right.
We may not get everybody, but we try.
Right. 7 days a week definitely helps.
Oh yeah. So next year is gonna be a little different. With the holidays coming, yeah, those memes and reels that you see on social media is real. It's very, very real. So when they're acting like there's hair everywhere, there's a blow dry over here, there's clippers over here, there's razors over there, and everybody's laid out on the floor at the end of the day, that's a real thing. We are literally that extremely tired with no breaks whatsoever, and we just go. So during the holiday season, we are definitely here with our A game locked in, ready to go. We're seasoned. We're not rookies at this, you know. Right. So yeah.
Schwick, it's been my pleasure, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
One of the twins.
One of the twins.